Hey Gary Vee, I'm at the Rise conference and I'm interested in geeking out with you through a 5-minute Facebook Live interview. Let's talk about that planet of the apps, the future of media, and if you're interested, all you have to do is tweet back at me. And anyone who's listening right now, retweet, retweet, retweet. I'd love for Gary Vee to see this. It's been a while since we did a walk and talk. Just came back from Hong Kong, but this vlog is all about me going to Rise and, most importantly, the fact that I got to geek out with Gary Vee. So this vlog is going to be about how I got to connect with Gary Vee and hustle my way through it. Are you ready?
Yo, 聽住啊 First name Jin 淨係有中文名立志做個清士睇清楚個鏡無論係後生仔或是係老餅多謝你支持真係唔 easy 一個 ABC 要照清楚塊鏡佢哋想知點解啲中文會咁正係咪有個補習老師 Not me 由細到大我睇慣 TVB
Welcome to the Future's Past. My name's Suzanne Nguyen. If you're interested in social media, technology, communication and startups, subscribe and like. I have a theory about Gary Vee actually. Gary Vee, he reads all his tweets. He's like, he has this attention for detail, but also I think he has really good facial memory. So knowing that one of his favorite platforms is Twitter, I decided to do something a little bit different and use video to reach out to him. So this is a video that I sent to him. Can you film?
Yeah.
Thanks, D-Rock.
Thanks, D-Rock. To me, I think TV or social, these mobile devices need to start debating the notion of super high quality mixed with bad lighting and bad audio. I think people yearn for
authenticity.
I think so, and I think, listen, there's a place for 6-hour movies like Avatar, and there's a place for a 6-second, bad lighting selfie. And I think they all work as long as the message is extremely strong.
And Gary Vee, he preaches about hustling and getting things done and executing. So I'm just articulating what he preaches, right? Anyway, so I was at Rise and I saw him with his entourage and screaming fans around him. And I got my videographer to say, hey, we need to go now. And then I caught his attention, like I made eye contact with him. Eye contact. And he recognized me. It's like, hey Gary, remember how I sent you a tweet about requesting an interview? He says yes. So what I did was I was ready, super ready to capitalize this time. And people asked me, what was interviewing Gary Vee? I'm like, I only had 3 minutes with him, but because I valued his time and I was ready, I had questions ready to go. So this is what I asked him. Okay, I'm going to ask a really controversial question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
With all the isms right now, and with all the binary capital and all the sexism and things
Yes.
like that, what do you think are some of the key takeaways that people should improve and work on making the startup ecosystem better? It's a big question. I know.
It's a great question,
yeah.
And I think it's actually got a very simple answer. The thought of being a bad human being is just idiotic. The thought that you would do the wrong thing as a human, forget about Silicon Valley ecosystem. Being the kind of person that would make another human being feel poorly is just not smart. It will never work, and I'm glad we live in a day and age where it's harder to hide. I just think doing bad things is never the right thing to do.
Well, when you think about it, if you have a dirty closet and the laundry needs to air out, you have to clean it all out.
Yeah, and listen, somebody who's willing to impose their financial power on another human being and do the kind of things that we're seeing being exploited right now, that's a much bigger flaw than what's wrong with Silicon. That's a human flaw. And by the way, that's happening in the banking world, that's happening in the retail world, that's happening in the consulting world, and obviously, white rich boy club of Silicon Valley needs to go through its pain point, and I believe that doing the wrong thing is always the wrong thing, and I think we're going to go through a great 100 years of getting used to everything being on the record, harder to hide, and as somebody who idolizes his mom and who has a daughter, and I think that there's a lot of good that's happening right now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gary.
You're welcome.
So what was it like to interview Gary Vee? Amazing. Well, it's more the post effect, right? I had like this moment of instant credibility with my peers and a lot of virtual high fives, and recognizing the kind of influence he has within my social circle as well. He has influenced people.
真扎師兄梁朝偉真係有型，歡樂今宵何必同鄭月玲，日頭晚做就冇得停。
Here's a recap of how to like approach influencers and ballers like Gary Vee. 1. Reach out to them on their favorite platform, like I did with Gary Vee on Twitter. 2. People who run an empire or run their own business, they're time poor, so value their time. 3. Be ready. Who knows what's going to happen? Like Gary Vee, for example, didn't even arrange a time with me to interview him. I just happened to find a space to connect with him and say, hey, let's do an interview. And he was like, all for it. And there you have it. Those 3 things are like a good way for you to reach out to them and connect with any influencers. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the comments and I'll be happy to respond to them.
You know that's me.